Hello and good morning, fellow crazies. I'm starting to get emails and things about people wanting me to talk about the coronavirus, how long it's going to last. And even as I'm doing this, I'm starting to hear stuff. Torches have been lit and they'll have to be put out one at a time. That just means that I believe it means that every person is a battle in itself. Let your conscience be your guide. Never heard that before. Patience is what's needed here. Trying times, patience, a lot of patience. We have this 6 more months before it begins to, it's a slowly coming in, slowly going out. They'll think it's done, but it's not. It'll revive itself. And I believe there's 2 more like this one coming. Similar. They're saying similar. So it's best we get a hold of this right now because it's not going to stop anytime soon. Those that got this one will be better off than those who didn't in the next pandemic, which is not that far away. Financial concerns, everybody's got those. The banks will do their best to stay open and provide cash. Stimulus package is more of a PR thing. And I agree with it. I think it has it's disproven some things, but it's PR and it's political. It's going to save the lives of some people who otherwise wouldn't have anything to eat on. Other people don't need it. People are giving loans, things they shouldn't get. Others need them desperately and will need it. You can't, it's like torches have been lit and each one will be put out one at a time. Yeah, it's an unfair thing. It'll fall on some people who don't need it, just as it will on people who do need it. And I'm okay with that too, as long as the majority of the people get helped. But this amount of money it's not 6 months worth of money. I believe the prevailing mood among politicians is that they want to declare it over with where they can get back to campaigning because it's a short time till November. And politicians, they're just about getting in office. They'd shoot each other in a minute to get there. And don't feel sorry for them. They're politicians. This is the animal they are, and always has been. Strong men get to the top. That's what this is about. It's an arm wrestling thing between people. That's what it is. It's a contest of will and strength and desire. And there aren't any poor people running the country. They're all rich, every one of them, as has been in Washington's day. The people who sat in the Congress and the Senate and things like that were elected, they were all rich people. There weren't any poor people there. It's disproportionate, but there it is. I'm okay with that too. I don't see any way around it. If we got rid of every politician within a couple of weeks, we'd have the same guys that we've got now. Because power and ambition always rises to the top. That's the nature of man. This is an unforgiving virus. Doesn't care who it has no friends. I believe that better heads will prevail and that the government will not shut down, will continue to run with whoever shows up. A lot of them have now gotten wise. They've gotten past the stupid days where I won't get it to the days where a lot of them are showing up positive. and they'll exclude themselves. They'll self-quarantine. And those who are left to vote will vote. The stimulus package is more of it's a PR thing. It has no meaning other than that, and will help, but it's a small amount of money. A family of five, you can't feed a family of five on that on very long. Can't pay rent, can't. People are going to go back to work sooner than later. I was noticing the last couple of days there have been skateboarders down our road because it's a long downhill, 3 or 4 blocks of just downhill, and they're out playing, they're out talking and visiting. People are not going to isolate themselves as well as we would hope. The nature of man is communication, and I was at Walmart the other day. Crowd of people standing up for toilet paper again and paper towels. But other than that, it was pretty normal. People's lack of concern, because some people have said it's not a problem. And just the nature of people is we don't want to believe it. We don't want to believe it, and we don't want to endure it. Some companies are going to announce that they're staying open, that they're not going to quarantine, that they're not going to do this, and other companies will follow suit simply because you can't shut 300 million people in a closet and shut the door and say, forget about it for a while. It's just not going to happen. The disease is slowed up and it's spreading, but in some places it's rapid. Four more months of devastation, 2 months where it sort of idles off. In about 6 months, there'll be a shot, I believe, from this point. I don't know when this is. Still in March, I think. But it could be wrong. Stock market's unsteady because our country's unsteady. This country, there'll be a rebound when the country sort of gets its footing. I'll tell you my experience with it, honesty about it. My wife said I should be tested the other day. So she came in the room. I was working on a book, and she said, you need to be tested. So I called the number provided, and they sent me to another number, and that number sent me to a nurse for the CDC. And that's pretty good. I mean, it didn't take but a few minutes to get to a nurse at the CDC. Big stuff. And she took my symptoms and blah, blah, blah. And she said, I'm sure I can say that. If you feel these things happening, go to the emergency room. And I was laughing, saying that I've got one's about a mile from here. And then I began reading her. Why? Because I read people I talk to on the phone. And she was very gracious. She endured it and thanked me for the messages I gave her. And I said, does this hospital have test kits? And she said, no. Because the CDC knows. I said, no, they don't have any. What are they likely to do? Well, they'll put you in intensive care if there aren't any rooms. They'll refer you to another hospital, but primarily they'll just take you in. And I said, you're telling me that I'm going to have to endure 4 hours of horrible crap, and in the end they don't have anything they can give me if I do have it. She said, yeah. Isn't that interesting? CDC, I think her name was Linda, a great nurse, took all the symptoms down and everything. Said, well, You know, if you feel these things happening, she named off the 2 or 3 that are on the list. And remember, I'm doing this for my wife because she wants me to be tested. For a reason, again, I can't discuss. But she's concerned about me. And round and round and round, and CDC Nurse told me the truth. You can go there, but they don't have a test. They can't find out if you have it. And if you do have it, they don't have a treatment for it. Basically, they're going to take blood and do all these scans and things, which won't show anything. But it takes care of your insurance for a while. Man, it's going to drain that out, which is what they do. They're in the business of making money. They didn't used to be. Lots of many hospitals went bankrupt, but they're going bankrupt now, and they're skimming it by charging all these tests. Anyway, you don't need to know that, but I'm just telling you my experience with it. Right now is the time to isolate, stay at home, drink a lot of liquids. Um, um, Electrolyte stuff is good. If you feel yourself coming down with these things, do go to the hospital. But if you have no visible symptoms, you really, and they are clogging up with people who are worried about having it that don't have it. There's a lot of that going on because people are afraid. I did it because my wife asked me to, which is a good enough reason for me. There's no good ending for this because I believe there's 2 more coming. And they're the same, but they're different. They have many characteristics that we saw in this one that will fool us into thinking this is something coming through again, but it's different. It's not the same. And one of my kind readers, I can't remember her name right now, said mutate is the word I was looking for the other day in a video. I thank her for that. And I do want you to notice that sometimes your videos are being yanked off, and it's not because I'm doing it, it's because YouTube is doing it for, I don't know what reasons. Maybe they don't want me to say something, or you've said something they don't like, or for various reasons. And I got an email, I got a little notice about that you'll be seeing some of your things disappear because we're trying to not instill fear and fright. Great thing that I noticed in Walmart the other day was the humor. People were all serious lining up to get their toilet paper, and I was in line too. And they gave me a little 4-packer. My wife went back 20 minutes later, and they gave her 30. You're a guy, you need 4. But I'm standing in line there, and I made a joke about toilet paper, and everybody turned around and smiled and says, "Oh, we're in this crapper together, and it's very funny, and we need some laughter." And laughter just works. Actually makes your immune system go up. Laughing humor. I think people have written books about it. I think it's true. I think if you're very positive and have a funny out view on life, then things are just better. Things don't tend to bother you. If you're a downer kind of a person, everything bothers you. Anyway, I think that's the best I can do for now. I don't think I should talk anymore because okay, well, I guess I am going to have to. The other night, I heard some strange things in the middle of the night, and I don't sleep much anyway. And I woke up and someone said, riot gear. That's never heard that before. Riot gear. So I believe there'll be, I think there's going to be a food riot at some point, someplace. I don't know where it is, but um, certain countries are gearing up for it because that's what they fear, that they don't have any food now. And once they run out of the dwindling supplies they have, it's going to get bad. and UN relief will come in, and it'll be okay. It'll be better. Um, Women with children, I don't know how you endure something like this. If you're from a poor country and your child's starving, you'll do pretty much anything to get food. And it goes on and on. I hear a lot of stuff all the time, but I don't know why they're saying this, but snow-topped mountains are going to begin to melt. The snow that's been there for hundreds of years probably already has, and you probably are aware of it. They're saying it now. Snow-topped mountains are going to begin to melt, which will create too much runoff and sort of flood down below. It's too much at once. It's not slow. It's not a trickle. It's a gush. Anyway, um, try tapping into your own psychic stuff and see if you can't hear some of these things yourself. Politicians are going to want to put you back out there as quick as they can because the election's coming. It's November. It's quick. They won't be able to say bad, nasty things about each other in person. So try not to think of that as being smart advice. Try and think of that as stupid. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.